Powering down. What did it rocket a total of, at least for us? 48 hours. We got 50 hours out of that. That's not bad, actually. 48.1 hours according to Steam. We took from FF7. Super looking forward to the second one. I feel like what they wanted to do with the first one was a lead into what they do next. And that'll be the make or break for this franchise. Like, I feel like probably we will play all three, but I don't want to be that, like, entrenched consumer. There's still a lot to work on. This was very padded. It did have a lot of padding, a lot of corridors, a lot of repeating rooms, that kind of stuff in various areas. So really hoping that's something that gets fixed or changed in the next one. I'll put it down to them feeling trapped in Midgar, so to speak. I'm guessing that's why it was like that, because, you know, the part one just takes place in Midgar, and it's like the buildings, the Shinra building, and the slums. The slums was alright, actually. I think the slums was the best part. Tier list would be good. Of what? The characters? Okay. Okay. Let's have a look-see. This is where we were. We had Chadley in his own tier. Chadley is sadly demoted into La La Land for his disappointing outcome. Unfortunately, like, taking the jokes out of it, I was really enjoying doing Chadley's missions up until the last one is like, just play the whole game again. And so you either play the whole game again or you're just left incomplete with something you've been working on for a while. I really hate that. It super pisses me off. So yeah, for me, that goes down there. Anybody who gets changed out of here? Roche is terrible. You really did. I didn't what? What didn't I do? What? What? There was an ending to his story? I'm sure there is. I have to play a shitload of the game to grind out some of the mega materials to do it. I'm sure there is. That just annoys the fuck out of me. We finished the game and we were miles away from doing it. It just sucks. I didn't enjoy. So Chadley is demoted. Oh, don't actually on it. You have to play a shitload more of the game, and you know you do. Unless you know about the achievement going in, you absolutely do have to play a shitload more with AP boosts to get all those materials done. Grinding is easy. I hate grinding for the 50 millionth time, so I'm allowed to put this here because it annoyed the fuck out of me. It was just leaves at 18 out of 20. I don't care if you don't mind grinding. I do, and I'm not fucking raising his ranking because you don't like it. Make your own list. For me, he's down here. Okay. Our boy goes down here. Yes. The Don, sex trafficker, goes down here. Really, really liked what they did with Reeve in the remake. They obviously work under the assumption that you know what he's going to do in the next part. And I think it paid off super well. So we got to see a lot more of Reeve's story. I quite like that. So I'm going to... Reeve is obviously above Reno. Yes. I always get the Turks' names. I don't think he's even that good of a character. I think he's just overly sleazy. I don't think he's a great villain either. No, it's not because he's a villain. I don't mind that. We've got villains up here. The Turks are up here. We've got the security inspector up here. It's absolutely not the case. I don't think he's a great character either. I think he's just an over-the-top slime ball. I'll put our boy in C, Rufus. We only see a very glimpse of him in the remake. Doesn't do much. He's really just turns up at the end. He's more of a setup for later down in the game, which is fine. Red, even the short time we got to spend with Red, I absolutely loved Red. I thought Red was great. I thought Red was really, really good. I really love the voice actor they gave Red. I like going for this wizened old dog feel. Like, super enjoyed it. I enjoy Scarlet more, especially after we played the DLC. I have nothing much to say about whatever the fuck her name is. The daughter of the angel. I don't have much of an opinion either way on her. She's a quest giver, and then she's out. Yeah, Kyria. Zach being back is great, but most of my basings is, I mean, what do we say about FF7 Remake? Zach shows up in cutscenes. I mean, realistically, he should be in La La Land. Despite the fact that I love that character, he hasn't done anything yet. He's just back. Yeah, Zach's back. Enough said. It is there's not much else to say on him. Hojo was great. Hojo was really cool. In the most disgusting way. Is he as good as Rude with multiple shades, though? He is. Yeah, he is. He is better than Reno. He goes right in the middle, I think, actually. He goes right in the middle. I would maybe have preferred it to be a bit more mad scientist, but I will reevaluate some of the others later on that we have. Domino's Pizza. Nothing to say about Domino's. How did I feel about Domino's? I thought he was kind of laughable and sad. He teamed up with Wedge. Hmm. It was interesting to get a bit more story out of him. I think he's like a middling C for me. Middling C. Yeah, I think he's like a middling C. He was obviously far more present than Rufus and Kyria, Kyrie. Aerith isn't quite La La Land, but I still do not understand the massive love for Aerith. Even after the OG, the remakes, everything else. Just not my kind of gal, unfortunately. Just not my kind of gal. Tifa needs big promotion. Really enjoyed Tifa. I thought Tifa evolved in a big, big way. I thought Tifa was... Tifa started low. Tifa started very low, and Tifa just worked her way up. I actually started to very much enjoy Tifa, and wanted her in the party. Which I didn't in the OG. I didn't enjoy Tifa being around at all, because she always came across really childish. Obviously, Marlene does not belong. Or Marl. She's not better than Sephiroth and whatnot. She belongs like here. She's a great character, but I mean, she doesn't do much. Let's be honest. Barrett is the S tier. I did enjoy Madam M, actually, very much. In fact, Tifa belongs in the S tier. She does. Yeah. Tifa absolutely belongs up there. Yeah. Realistically, Tifa moved her way up to S tier. From all the way at the bottom, I think Tifa started in C tier when we started the game, based on OG. But I think Tifa belongs all the way up there. All these side characters, don't really care too much about them. I will say I did like the trio. They were comical, but I mean, they're not like important characters, right? Compared to, what's he called? Lucian? Something like that. They were fun characters. They were far more fun than like these. And I didn't actively dislike them, which I do with Aerith. Where would you place Yuffie? I would actually move Yuffie up to probably a high B, low A. If Yuffie was on here, I would probably put Yuffie high B, low A. Actually quite liked Yuffie. Was way less childish than in the OG and in Crisis Core. And yeah, I kind of liked it. I enjoyed that DLC. I think I have to be careful, though. I think I'm kind of biased because her gameplay is really freaking good. And it was noticeable going back from the DLC to the OG or to the remake to do that Weiss boss. It was very noticeable how good Yuffie's gameplay is comparatively. Like, Tifa's is the second best, I think. Yuffie's got the best gameplay, in my opinion. Yuffie is second best, and Cloud... in fact, Tifa and Cloud are pretty close. I enjoyed playing them both. It doesn't help Aerith's case that I absolutely detest playing Aerith's character. I do not like the spellcasters at all. No longer bench. No, it depends where they go with it. Because obviously in Crisis Core, she's learning to steal and whatnot. And her storyline's actually a total pain in the ass. But Crisis Core isn't really known for its story either way. It's not a particularly big deal. That's wrong. The Angel is not as good as Mal. Better than him. Am I happy with this? Barrett was by far my number one. Tifa worked her way up there. Cloud's biggest compliment that I can give Cloud is he didn't annoy me. I think this might in fact be the first FF game single player game we've ever played where the protagonist wasn't somebody I actively disliked. That is genuinely rare. Titus. I mean, he wasn't a butt sniffer like Zidane. You know what I mean? Titus is probably the next one. Cecil was good. Cecil was okay. Although he did start by murdering civilians, which is, to me, it's off-putting. If I've got to be honest with you. Yeah, Titus is young and squeaky, but he's not an active asshole. You know, like Zidane is just a complete piece of shit. He really is. Let's not mention Squall. Squall's breed all of them to his own. I couldn't even give you a proper character of Zack, because Zack's just kind of like Angeal and Genesis's fucking bitch for the most part. He's just like, oh, I love you, Angeal. Running around actively doing it. Where did you put Zidane? I don't think we did a tier list for 10. I'm just thinking back. Lulu number 1, obviously. 2 good reasons for that. Can't think of them right now. Yeah. Well, we've played a hell of a lot of them, right? We've played a lot of games in a very short period of time. Steiner is always going to be my favorite character. I can't remember. I can't remember who that guy is. That Song. Song's kind of half in it. He's in like Rufus tier for me. A bit more in it. Oh, Weimer's like a quest giver. Yeah, these characters don't really matter. The dancer at the club. He's there for a side quest and then you do a dance. He's not really a character, I'd say. Yeah, I mean they're partially in it. They're in it for like 20 seconds. You do the thing on the stage where you and then you do the thing in the gym and that's about it. Cool, but like Madam M had far more of a presence in my opinion. And I can't see where he is now. Oh, there he is. Old Chocobo boy who was actively, you know, sex trafficking and just being a general arsehole and then seemingly being treated nice. I mean, Madam M should not be up here. I get that, but I did find her character fun. I thought she was a fun character. I just didn't like this character. He was just bad guy. So that's where I think it is. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. I can't think of, like, Jesse was better. I know people are going to be pissed, and I know people on YouTube are actively pissed, like, I'm missing something with Aerith. I'm not, I promise you. I've played the OG. I played this now. I spent a lot of time with Aerith. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I find it really annoying to be around. Where does Remake rank in the list of best to worst? About the same as 7. It's got a ways to go. Unavoidably, it's padded out and it's got flaws. It's also not really like an FFRPG. It's got all the bits and pieces. But it is really just more of an action game. Can you claim it's not done? I wouldn't put
You will like Aerith if you
I wouldn't. I don't think it's fair to put them all into one for the 3 different games. I think it's its own standalone game. It's got a start, middle, and end. Otherwise, it's gonna go. I was satisfied. I didn't dislike it. I want to be clear on that. Like when you're saying the best of, and it's around 7, that does not mean I disliked it. I actually had fun of it. I would not have played 50 hours if I wasn't having fun. For sure. Yeah, it's a full game. It's a full standalone game, and they'll change things. FF will be action RPG moving forward, so it's kind of hard to judge. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. For sure. I mean, it was very linear, unquestionably. It was a very linear game. I say the corridors definitely grated on me after a while, like constant corridors backwards and forwards, compared to what you expect in stuff like that in an FF game. But maybe that's the way it's gone. Remember, this is probably the most this is actually the most recent FF game I've played, right? In terms of when it's been made. It is FF7 Remake, but in terms of the FF chronological release dates, this is the most recent FF game I've played. So for all I know, 10 onwards are kind of all in this direction compared to the earlier games that we played, which were in a different one. So we'll see when 16 comes out, right? We'll see how they go with 16. Will we get airships again? We'll be able to just mooch around the world. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's there's nothing in here that's like, you know, the joy of when you spot a cave or you walk across the plains and there's like something rumbling beneath the earth. You know, those moments, those were the things that like always, you'll remember, if you've watched all our playthroughs, you know that's when I was like so excited with like, oh, what the fuck is this here? What's over here? What's happening here? And then we discover like the underground cities of where we can buy Ultimas from stupid people and all that kind of shit, you know? Those are always like the fun parts that I like. Is bumping into these crazy things that are just not dotted around the place. Like exploration, like real exploration is so funny. I mean, it's kind of semi-turn based. They kind of kept it in. Probably like 12, maybe, I don't know. But 16 is just around the corner. We'll get there. Walk into a swamp and find Quina. Exactly. Like just random shit happening because you're exploring the world. You're like, what is that over there? And I remember all the like more dedicated fans, we'll call them, of individual FFs, getting really upset that you're not going from A to B to C. I'm never going to do, as you guys know, I'm going to go wherever the fuck my instincts take me, or whatever looks interesting. I will go off the beaten path and end up in end games sometimes, or end up doing something that we're not supposed to be doing. But I think that's what the fun of those kind of games is. You go and have your own little adventure. I don't want it to be linear. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes out with 16. Maybe it's going to be different then. I hope 16 has that stuff. As Yoshi P is a classic FF player, so we'll see how it goes. But we'll see. You have to deal with 7 fans for a while. I don't really mind the 7 fans. There are obviously some people who are really overly protective of a video game for some reason. But they generally want you to have a good experience. You know what I mean? That's generally what they want. It can just feel a little much sometimes. They just, you know, most of the people like that just want you to have a good experience with their favorite game. That's what those guys are after. So I try not to let it frustrate me too much when people are doing like that. You can be very overly attached to a video game, right? Like, I know, I've seen the comments of like, I'm not a big fan of Aerith. I don't know, it's like Aerith to their wife. In real life, I don't know. Like, personally offended. You just don't understand what she's been through, man. You don't get it. You're not getting the full picture. You just don't get it, dude. I don't know. There we go. Do you think they'll swap the big Aerith moment for another character? I would say I'm not going to be surprised if Aerith lives. Given the way this is set up, I would not be surprised if Aerith lives. I mean, we've already had the vision of her dying. Right? They've seen that in the visions that we had. Or at least Cloud had. He's had visions of her dying and dropping the holy materia into the water. So Zack coming in and saving her. I kind of think that might be where it's leading. I imagine in the next one we might be swapping between Zack and Cloud in different journeys, which might mean they're reusing Midgar assets. That could be horrible. I didn't think of that until just then. Because he's back at the church, isn't he? Zack rebuilds the slums. Zack rebuilds whatever. Oh, that's put a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, so I'm going to not think about that for a while. They brought Zack there to... Interesting. The Zack restoration projects. Yeah, wagons for everyone. I'm just thinking about they're going to like just reuse the assets they've already done for this one. We see a dead presumed Aerith in the Rebirth trailer. Yeah, but I mean that's Red Heading's country, right? They can always change that. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if they go the route of having Zack and Aerith get together. That for all we know, what they show in the trailer is visions and other timelines. Exactly, they're now messing with multiple timelines, so it could be anything. It's got 2 discs. They were what could have been, I think. Yeah, exactly. There's multiple timelines, so we might end up with they could go down the route of where we have like the perfect timeline, the balanced one, and then the nightmare timeline, which is just horrendous. That could be interesting. And to swap between them and see who ends up where. That could be very, very interesting.